Yo, what's up guys, it's Emil. Today I'm going to talk about the number one marketing strategy in 2026 for all businesses. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Emil and I scaled my coaching business to over 60k per month. I'm also currently working with over 30 high-ticket online coaches and consultants with client acquisition systems. By first work on the foundations, then set up good lead generation systems, only focus on doing warm outreach only, that I will also explain about in this video, and also the sales, because meetings without having good sales process in place means nothing. So I'm going to talk about the number one client acquisition strategy. And again, before you start working on strategies like this, I would really recommend you to work on your foundations first. That means having good avatar, having a good offer, lead magnets, VSLs, landing pages, ads, hooks, all these things that are essential if you want to have success with client acquisition. I do think that all client acquisition strategies work as long as their foundations are built the way it needs to be built. So this is just what I think is number one. Doesn't mean other client acquisition systems doesn't work, but again, in order for them to work, what you need to have in place before that is to have the right foundations. Okay, so the reason I see this is the number one marketing strategy is because it focuses on one thing only, and that is warm outreach. So the key principle in the strategy is to never pitch your main offer to a cold audience who has no idea who you are. That is the last thing we want to do. What we rather want to do is to only reach out to a warm audience who already knows who you are, knows everything about you, trust you, see you as the authority, and 100% believe in your ability to get them from pain stage to dream stage. That is who we want to reach out to with our marketing, to get them onto a call, to then convert them into paying clients. So I'm explaining how that is built, and we call it the warm framework. So warm here. I hope you see this M. Do you see the M? Yes, you do. Amazing. I will take it a bit up. So I'm going to explain what all these letters stand for, but it gives you very warm meetings. We are in the business of trust, and having warm meetings are the most essential thing nowadays. Cold outreach, that was really popular 2023, 2024. The only problem was that a lot of businesses, over 95% of businesses, got a cold email, was interested in the offer, tried, but that most of the times it didn't work. I know this because I have a lot of data on this, but the things that happens then is that people are getting more skeptical when it comes to offers from businesses and people they don't know who are. So when we know people and businesses are more skeptical, we have to make sure that they are warm and trust us before we pitch our main offer. And I'm explaining how that works using the warm framework. So we start with the W. That stands for win. So what we want to do before we pitch our main offer is that we want to win the leads. We want to win the right to pitch the leads before we ever do it. So the way it works is that we simply set up an ecosystem where you keep all your potential customers. The very last thing we want to do is having people that are slightly interested in your offer leave you and then buy from your competitors instead. Every single lead, from the leads that are super just a little bit interested to the ones that are ready to buy right away, we want all of those leads from the range, from the whole range from it. We want to keep them in our circle, because even though the people that were not that interested in the beginning, they can become customers in the long term. So it's very important that we keep all of them. And the way we do that is setting up an ecosystem. Okay, so I'm gonna explain this as good as I can now, but be with me, you will understand everything. So we want to win the leads, okay, and we want to keep them inside what we call the ecosystem. Ecosystem that can be anywhere, as long as it is a way for you to always know where your leads are, and also a way for you to expose yourself and your brand as frequently as possible. So it needs to be a place your customers, your potential customers, are on, like they are on that specific tool or place or whatever every single day. Okay, so for example, if your customers are a lot on email, then it makes sense to have your ecosystem around email, like keeping their email addresses, and then you send them an email every single day. If your market and your avatar, your ICP, your niche is a lot on Facebook, then it would have made sense to have an ecosystem in a Facebook group. So you win the leads attracting people inside a Facebook group. If they're on Instagram, then you might just do something simple, that is by making them follow you. If they are on YouTube, you make them subscribe. If they are on WhatsApp, you make a WhatsApp group. If they are on school, you make a school community, and so on. As long as they are somewhere, you can keep all the leads and make sure they see your brand as frequently as possible. That's what we want with the ecosystem. And the way we get them inside the ecosystem is not by pitching your main offer. So we can still set up marketing campaigns to a cold audience. Like, we want to set up marketing campaigns to a cold audience because obviously we want people to know who you are before they know who you are. They don't know who you are, they are a cold audience. But instead of pitching your main offer right away, we want to go out to them and say, we want to go out to your avatar. We don't say it like this is just for you, this is just so you understand. But we want to go out to the market and say, hey, you are my avatar. I know you have this and this problem, and I know you want this and this dream. I have this ecosystem, and I have this lead magnet. I have whatever it is that can solve that problem I know you're having completely for free. And they'll be like, oh yes, sure, that sounds amazing. Let me see what you have to got. I have this problem, and you can sell me this problem for free. One pro tip here, when you do something like this, it's always important to include reasons why, otherwise people will see it as a scam. So if your goal is to potentially make them become customers further down the line, you should also tell that in the marketing. That's just a pro tip. Anyways, you go out to the market, you go out to the cold audience, but again, instead of pitching the main offer, what you want to do is say, hey, I know you have this problem, I can solve that problem for free. That gives you two things. Number one, it gives you cheaper leads. Why is it cheaper leads? Because we are asking for less, delivering more. If you're only pitching your main offer right away, you are not delivering anything and you're asking for a lot. You're asking them to maybe jump on a 60-minute call with you. They have no idea who you are, and you're asking them to spend 60 minutes of their time, and they have probably had experience with closing calls themselves, where they know they have to go through all the sales process and also battle the closer's objection handling skills. It's a tough battle, so you are asking for a lot when you are asking for a meeting. For your main offer, like, you're not solving anything, they have no idea who you are, and then you say, hey, let's jump on a call, we can talk about how we can solve your problems. You understand, like, we're asking for a lot, so then it kind of makes sense that the leads and the meetings will be way more expensive than if you go out to the same audience and say, hey, I know you have these problems, but we can help you solve it completely for free. Here you have a document, here you have a video, whatever it is that solves that problem. So you're delivering more because you're actually solving problems for free, and you're asking for less. You're not asking them to jump on a 60-minute call with you. You only want them to maybe see a video, get some links, whatever it is. It really depends on the lead magnets. These lead magnets are what you build inside the foundations before the marketing even starts, just so you know that. So we want to win the leads. The way we do that is going out to the market and solve micro problems to attract them inside our ecosystem. It gives you cheaper leads, number one. Number two, it also gives you a lot of trust and authority. We are in the business of trust. If you actually can solve micro problems to your prospects, they will trust you in your ability to solve problems. Okay? It's very important that you remember all this, and you actually try to think why this is important, because it is actually really important. When you solve micro problems, they have now trust in your ability to solve problems. So when you hit them with your main offer afterwards, they already trust your ability to get them from what you're saying is pain stage and dream stage. Like, you say, hey, I can help you get from point A to point B, point A to point B, pain A or dream B. I can help you get from point A to point B. All you gotta do is this, this, and this, and you will get it. If they actually get to the dream stage, they have now trust in you. They will now trust you because you lived up to their promise. So when you say something else a second time, they will have more faith and more trust in you that you will also be able to deliver the second time. And then if you do, and then if you also they get from pain to dream on the second time, the chances are even higher for them to wanting to do that over again on the third time. you see how this goes. So this is like a friend that tells you all his secrets. Not all his secrets, he starts telling you a very small secret, but you kept your promise, you didn't tell anyone else that secret that your friend had. Now the second time he might tell you a bit bigger promise, and then a bigger promise, and that can go on forever. But the point is, we want to train your prospects to believe in you. Every time you promise something, they achieve that dream, they achieve what you promise, which establishes trust. That's what we get from Win of the One framework. We win the leads, it gives you two things. It gives you, number one, cheaper leads, we're asking for less, delivering more. Number two, it gives you a lot of trust and authority. They will trust you in your ability to solve problems. It's gonna help with your warm outreach campaigns that we are gonna later set up. Then we have all the leads now inside our ecosystem. Okay, so we focus on winning the leads. We have now all the leads inside our ecosystem. Now we want to build what we call awareness. Now that they are inside our ecosystem, we want to build brand awareness where they get exposed to your face, your brand, your services as frequently as possible. Familiarity also equals trust. The more they are familiar with your face, the more they will trust you. The more they will see you as the authority figure in your space. There are two main reasons for this, why this is important. Number one, as I said, is that they will have familiarity, they will trust you the more they see you. Number two is that, because this is, I will spoil this also, this is about retarget. Whoops, can't even spell. Is that when we retarget, maybe it's not the best timing right away. Like yes, they were interested when we got them in the ecosystem in the first place, but that doesn't mean it's the best timing right away for them to buy your services right away. Awareness, that makes you never leave, make sure that they always be part of your ecosystem. They're not going anywhere. So maybe it wasn't the best timing the first time, but maybe it's the best timing next week, maybe next month, maybe even next year. It doesn't really matter as long as you keep exposing them to your brand as frequently as possible. So when the right time comes, you will be the first person your prospect will think about when it comes to solving their problems. Why? Because you were the one that solved their problems in the first place by winning the leads. You also have awareness. They will not pick your competitors. They will pick you every single time. There aren't any questions about that. It's actually a third reason as well why we want to build awareness. It also help you. It also makes you can charge higher prices. That's what I'm trying to say. You can charge higher prices. It doesn't matter how cheap your competitors are, even if they promise the same thing. If they are offering the same thing, they have even better guarantees, it doesn't matter. They have trust in you. So you can charge even higher prices than your competitors as well. So you get cheap leads, you get trust, and you can also charge higher prices. We win the leads, we build awareness, now it's time to retarget the leads. The retargeting campaigns is the same as the warm outreach campaigns. As I said in the beginning of this video, we rather want to do warm outreach to a warm audience who already trust you. Okay, now you will have a warm audience who already trusts you inside your ecosystem. Now it's about setting up retargeting campaigns to that warm audience to then pitch your main offer. But the difference now, they're not trusting you. Okay? And the way you retarget them, that can be anything. It doesn't really matter. It kind of depends on where you have the ecosystem in the first place. But you can DM them on Instagram. You can send them a WhatsApp. You can call them. You can send them a LinkedIn message. You might even set up even ads on Meta. You can set up ads to your ecosystem alone, so only your ecosystem see your ads for your main offer. The last thing you want to do is have ads to the market for your main offer right away. that you will just look like someone that is spamming. You don't want to do that. You want to go out to the mass market where all potential customers only see you as the one that are giving away things for free. And the only people that sees your main offer, know what you're actually earning revenue from, that is the one that are already have trust in you. You see, like how you rather want to be positioned as that type of person, that is the type of person actually solving problems, and the only ones that you are pitching your main offer to are the ones that already trust you. Win, awareness, retarget. Then we have the last part, which is the meet or the meeting. I don't know, I haven't decided if it's meet or meeting. Doesn't really matter. The point about this is that now you have retarget them. Now it's about making sure that the meeting will be as good as it possibly can get. You can still see it, yes. So what this means is that this is where a triage system comes in. That is where we make sure they know everything about your services. All objections are pre-handled. They have 100% trust in you. They have 100% authority, and we also increase the chances of them showing up after they booked a call from the retargeting campaigns. So I'm not gonna explain too much details about the meet, but very simple terms. You might have a setter. As soon as someone book, within the next 2 minutes, you have a setter calls them, figuring out their situation, their goals, what's preventing them from reaching their goals, aka their problems, and then send custom videos to them on how they can potentially solve those problems. That establishes so much trust that will 10x your show up rate, and it's a really good way. And also what you want to do before the meeting is to make sure on that same conversation you have with them on the phone, even if it's you or your setter, it doesn't really matter, but you want to make sure that when they jump on the meeting, they also know everything about your services and all objections are pre-handled. So what I want you to do is that I want you to write every single potential objection or concern your potential customers always have on your sales calls. So when you have sales calls, look back at them, look what are most common questions, their concerns that you always have to explain. You want them to show up to the meeting that you have with them where that objection is already covered, because then you can have your meeting only focus on figuring out actually their situation, goals, what's preventing them from reaching the goals, and having a very tailored presentation on how you can get them from paid stage to dream stage. But that only works effectively if they don't have that many questions to ask you. And the way you make sure that they don't have that many questions is by pre-handling objections, by sending materials, sending testimonials regarding that specific topics that you know are the most common objections and concerns before the call, and also making sure they know everything about your services. So you make it super clear here, I know you have this pain, I know you have this dream, this is the exact roadmap that you will be following with us if you proceed with us. When they then jump on the call with you, just to summarize very quickly, there are probably a few things that I'll leave out, but the type of meetings that you will now get if you follow the one framework is someone that have 100% trust in you because you already solved micro problems, they have familiarity with you, they see other people inside your ecosystem that also looks up to you and follow you. That makes them follow you as well. Like, we are humans, we like following other humans, and if your prospects see other prospects follow you, they will naturally follow you as well. So that is that. We have trust because we solve macro problems. We have awareness, and we also have authority. We also have pre-handled all objections. They know everything about your services. They feel 100% educated. This is the type of meetings that you want, and also we want to make sure that they meet bounce criteria. So on the retargeting campaigns, we're not gonna book a meeting with everyone who wants it. We're making sure they have budget, authority, need, and actually timing. And these are the types of meetings that you can get using the one framework. I hope it lives up to the promise why this is a warm meeting. This is why you always find it easier to close word of mouth meetings, referrals. Why? Because they already have trust in you leading up to that call. And the reason you are struggling to close the meetings that comes through a cold audience campaign for your main offer is because they don't have enough trust leading up to that call. You need to stop doing that right now, focusing on things like this, and it will work. It will be the number one thing that will separate the one that have success with marketing and the ones who doesn't have success. So focus on this, and I promise you, you will have something that will last for a very, very long time, because your ecosystem, your warm audience, they're not going anywhere as long as you maintain the awareness campaigns. They will be forever your warm audience, even if you switch services later on because the market changes a little bit. They will still be your warm audience who trust you. They're not going anywhere. And this is how you can have a very long-term strategy, and the more time goes on, the bigger that audience is gonna be, and the bigger the audience, the more you are gonna make. So I hope this makes sense. I don't expect you to be an influencer that has millions of followers. Again, it can be just as simple as a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group, or just them just following you on Instagram. It can be as simple as that. And also, just to break down the math, if you only set up campaigns, for example, on paid advertising, I'm gonna just use paid advertising as an example, as that is the most expensive marketing thing. It's the most scalable thing you can do, of course, yes, but it's also the most expensive compared to doing content and cold outreach cold outreach. So paid advertising, usually, if you do it for your main offer, it might cost you between 200 to 400 euros per meeting. If you rather focus on solving their problems for free, a lead can cost as little as 5 to 10 euros. The most I've ever seen that was for a software development company. They get one lead per 20 euros. That's nothing. As long as you have good retargeting campaigns where you have maybe one meeting for every 5 leads coming inside your ecosystem, that means for that software company, they will get one appointment per 100 euros spent. But that's nothing. That's literally nothing, considering they have extremely high price tags on their services, and also considering how warm these meetings are. Like, I know there are lead generation agencies that are just setting up cold emails that are charging 400 euros per meeting, because that's what I did. I have some videos about that as well on this YouTube channel. But it's gonna get you way more cheaper leads. And if you have the real targeting campaigns where you get one meeting for every 5 leads inside your ecosystem, the 4 that didn't book, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Again, they might not need it right away, but they can maybe need it next week or next month or next year. As long as you maintain your awareness campaigns, you will be the first one that they think of when the timing is right. And then you should also have a good offer where you have a lot of scarcity urgency that makes them want to make a decision fast, of course, but generally you will be the first one I think of when they actually need it. Maybe they have budget problems, and then maybe they need 6 months time to save up to buy your services. But when that time comes, maybe it takes 6 months to save up for buying services like yours, you want to make sure that they keep getting exposed. You can get a lead for 10 euros. That means if you have retargeting campaigns where you get one meeting per 5 leads, a meeting can cost you 50 euros. If you sell high ticket prices, for example, 5K, 50 euros, you have a 20% close rate. It might cost you 250 euros per client. That is 20x, I think. I'm not sure, I'm not a math guy. I hope you found this video valuable. I do think this is the #1 marketing strategy. I don't think this will ever change, especially when we're moving into AI more, like even though we are in the AI era, it will be even more and more of AI, and that essentially means one thing: trust is gonna be harder and harder to ask for. Like it's gonna reach a point where we don't even know that who we're speaking on online meetings with or seeing videos about are real humans. So you need to focus on how you can establish as much trust. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I don't see how it will be possible to scale your business in any other ways. Or you can still rely on referrals or word of mouth, because that is also good ways to establish trust. But again, we are in the business to trust. You should only focus on building trust. And I recommend building a warm audience. See you soon.